Today we are speaking with Afifa.
I'm really thankful that you gave me this opportunity to put it out to the world. When I started off as being a mom, I didn't really know what abouts of parenting and all of that. And I had a lot of old ideologies and everything. So since then, I've been looking to learn or train myself to be the best mom, sister, daughter, so on and so forth. Only when I'm a mindful parent or only when I'm conscious about my patterns is when I can be the best self to my daughter. Initially, I thought I could do it myself. I really thought I could do it myself. And only with a certain support, like a professional mental health expert or professional or support groups, can we really get better understanding.
Hey, hello everyone. Welcome all of you. I'm Alita Abraham, consultant psychologist at Crink. Today we are speaking with Afifa, a mother who's currently living in Qatar. She's a brave, busy parent who has been with Crink for more than a year now. She's been working on self, on her time management, and she's been also using the Crink app to support her journey. Thank you so much for joining us, Afifa.
Thank you for having me, Alita. It's a
Our
pleasure to
pleasure.
be here.
Great. So to start off, maybe we could, could you briefly like introduce yourself a little bit so our viewers would also, get an idea, basically where you're based in Qatar, a little about yourself.
Right. So, as you know, my name is Afifa Husna. I've grown up in Qatar. So, Qatar is like my homeland, and India is my home country. I'm from Kerala. So, I've spent my entire life, my entire life here. I've been working for the past 9 years, 8 to 9 years. And like you said, I am a single mom. I have a daughter, she's 10 years old. I'm also a certified NLP practitioner. I've completed my master practitioner course as well. And yeah, I'm always looking into. So when I started off as being a mom, when I had my baby, I didn't really know the how tos and what abouts of parenting and all of that. And I had a lot of old ideologies and everything. So since then, I've been looking to learn or train myself to be the best mom, sister, daughter, so on and so forth. So that is why I've attended a lot of trainings from the institution that I've done NLP and other institutions as well. And that's how I came across Crink through my daughter's school group.
Perfect. I mean, thank you so much for, letting us know, like, how it's been your
Mm,
journey
but
being a parent and, being a single mom as well, tackling a lot of responsibilities, right? So, can you
yes.
tell me how does a current day-to-day life looks like? Managing home, routines with with your child, like how does it look like?
Okay, so right now I'm transitioning between jobs. So while I'm working, it's my day starts at 5 or before 5 or at 5. I get ready or I help my daughter get ready to school, her food and everything. And then I take a few minutes to myself just to calm myself after the morning rush. And then I
I
get
get it.
there are a few household chores that I have to finish. I get ready for job. Then I used to spend a lot of time at work. I come back, have my lunch, clean the kitchen, then get to my daughter's school and her activities, and then we plan either it's outings or her school activities or the community. I'm part of a community service here as well. So if I have any, I get back to the messages, and that's how my day goes. There's no specific rest time in between the days, and which is why I attended the Busy Mama workshop by Crink, just so that I know how to
Mm,
organize my day across the hours because multiple responsibilities. So that is how when I'm at work, when I used to be working. Right now, it is again sending my daughter to school, and then I will just find few moments to calm myself. And then it is household chores. Then it's helping my dad out because he works shifts and he's there in the morning. And then community work and crink sessions and helping my friends out. I'm usually an SOS for friends every time because we really don't know in what situation they're in and they text and all. So an SOS for community, SOS for my friends, SOS for my parents because when they call, I'm so this is basically, and my daughter as well. This is basically how my day goes. Pretty packed, but yeah, managing through.
Got it. Yeah, I can imagine how that would look like for you. So basically, when you like letting me know, like, how things, because you're juggling a lot of stuff, like, you have to figure out your day. And amidst all of this, you also have to find time for yourself. I mean, that's something that maybe a lot of us also might miss to prioritize, when there's a lot of happening around in your life. So maybe just to, how did you find Busy Mama get organized? Like, how did that help you?
So I came across Kring through my daughter's school WhatsApp group. So our school shares all, any institutes that are working with parents, mental health, they share in the group. And that's how I came across Krink. And
Hmm.
through my sessions with the consultant, Shifa, I used to like, I'm following your social pages, I'm a part of your WhatsApp groups. So that is how I came across the Busy Mama workshop. And I've done it once before, but I didn't get the time to schedule and attend it. So I attended it again recently. So when I saw a post somewhere or across socials, I think social media, Instagram or could be WhatsApp group, I was like, okay, I want to do this. And I asked the details to Shifa, and then Mariam helped me out as well. And that's how I joined the Busy Mama workshop.
Got it.
About what you, yeah, about what you asked, other than that, what you asked is like, how do I find time for myself and how do I prioritize that? I've been a single mom for the past, I think, 10 years. I know many of them, when I'm saying this, I'm aware that many may have an apprehension to this word or don't know much about it. But I'm just saying I'm a single mom because that is my state. Like I can say I'm married or, that I'm just putting it across because a wide, people from across different backgrounds are watching the video or the session. So
Mhm.
coming back to that, what I understood is I used to be running on autopilot for the first
Hmm.
4 years since childbirth. And that led to a lot of health challenges. And it literally pushed me. It was a realization, point of realization. You need some, there are like, uh, what is that? In your life, you'll have moments in your life where it, opens your eyes to certain realities, right? So it opened
Hmm.
my eyes to understanding or realizing how important it is for me to take care of myself. And that is
Mhm.
when I forcefully started, or consciously, to use the right word, started scheduling in rest times or me times. Uh, it's of peace. I would find my pockets of peace throughout my day so that I manage my state and I'm able to do everything in a calm way. Yeah.
Got it. So the thing what you mentioned about, being consciously, you're making sure that is into practice, and I'm sure
Yeah.
that's not very easy as well because being,
Mm.
as you mentioned, being a single mom and, it's and how society would, see it, all of that, amidst all of that pressure, figuring out that, okay, things are happening, but I need to find space for myself. And that's very important, like I'm sure the journey
Yeah.
was also very special to you to figure out, okay, that's something that I need to keep priority as, right?
Yes, it was. Yeah. I think what helped me to understand or get to this point is that I wanted to do better for my daughter. So I know that, through the different trainings that I've attended, I thankfully, or I understand that it's a privilege as well. Not everyone has access to mental health services. So I've understood that only when I'm a mindful parent or only when I'm conscious about my patterns is when I can be the best self to my daughter. And I really want her to have a good, like a foundation where she can actually be her best self in life because I'm not going to be around her forever. through she has to navigate everything of her own life by herself. So I understood that my role as a parent is to help her do that and guide her and then support her, because I know the many kind of patterns that I've had to outgrow or unlearn because of how I've been parented, or the
Mm,
society I've been part of. So I really wanted to do better for my daughter. I would really say it came from there. So when I
mm,
understood that I've had to be a better uh, parent to my daughter, then I started looking for ways on how to do that. So I've always been like this since childhood. Every time I come to know that this is good, this is how to do it better. I've been attending workshops all throughout since school, personality development and so on and so
mm.
forth. So that's really how it helped. I think it's a big blessing
Okay.
from God for me to be at least conscious and aware of this when I'm speaking, it's going in the back of my mind. Yeah. So I really hope and pray. And this is something I tell my parents, my friends who are parents and everybody. I just pray that,
Mm,
they're also able to be conscious and aware of their own patterns and their own behaviors, and that they get support as well so that they can be the best parents to their children. And if we are being the best parents to our children, then it's literally sets the tone for the next generation. So we've like really done our part. So this is how
mm.
I look at it. Yeah.
Got it. What is something like you mentioned about, that how sometimes we got to, uh, like, if I become better is when, that's what I can be a better mom as well to my child, right? So that thing, like, when did you first decide that, okay, I think I would need therapy? How did that make you feel, a realization that, I need help? And, like, how can you let the viewers as well, make them understand that, when do I need to actually seek help, sort of a thing?
Okay. So initially, I thought I could do it myself. I really thought I could do it myself because also the thought came from the certifications as well. I thought, but over time, what I understood is we as an individual, there is only so much that we can reach or understand, and only with a
Mm,
certain support, like a professional mental health expert or professional or support groups, can we really get better understanding. So every time I go into so since I'm into community service, every time I go
yeah.
into meet people and I see parents, I see how they're doing it better, and I didn't know how to get there. So
Mm,
I was like, okay, how do I do that? And that's when I
yeah.
realized that, because it comes from attending the workshop since childhood, I would
Mm,
never take any of these granted, and I don't want anyone to compare themselves with me either. So I'm being very descriptive because of that. So I really wanted to know how to do this, and that's how I thought, okay,
mm,
it's best to have a mentor. So me
mm.
and Shifa, we do a lot of brainstorming. Certain things, I ask, so why is that? Why is my brain thinking like that? And why did I react this way? And why did I feel down at
Got
this
it.
moment? So I really feel like if
Mm,
someone would tell us, if there was experts or people around us who would tell us why a certain thing is happening and how can we reach to where we want to reach, then I really feel that we will all be able to operate in our best ways. And that is how I realized that it's best to take a one-on-one consultation. And Shifa's
mm.
been helping me out for the past, yeah, about 8 months for now. Yeah. And I've been on and
Got
off
it.
in contact. So you said, yeah, more than a year. I didn't realize until you said it. Yeah.
Got it. Actually, the you see, you have been in part of the Krink family for more than a year. So, what is the
Yes.
difference that you like? I'm sure when somebody start off, okay, should I really like? They might have a certain kind of like being a little skeptical. Okay, should I really have somebody, to support me? How does therapy look like? So, what was the difference between your expectations before you started the journey, and then probably with Shifa, with your consultant? and your experience after a few months or after like 8 months. Like initially you might have, okay, were you skeptical? What are certain reasons? Like how did you find it? Like what is the difference you feel right
Okay, so I've attended the training, as you said,
now?
NLP, and I've done
Yeah.
certain mental health courses from Grand Caliber, which is an institute for cognitive excellence in UAE. So we've had online sessions. So it was all group classes. It's not individual
Mm,
sessions. So I thought, okay, so I will. So when I was doing courses with Grand Caliber, there
mm.
was a free mentorship trial session with Shifa. Just
Okay.
one session. Yeah. So that is how initially you're one of the, I think, admin staff.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if her name was Jasna or Jeffna. I keep missing
Definitely.
the S and an F. Jeffna, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yes. So I got in touch with her and I attended a mentor one session, one free trial session. And just through that one session, Shifa mentioned that if I want influence over my child, it depends on the quality of the time I spend with her, even if it is just 10 minutes. And because I
Hmm.
attended that session, I started putting it in practice, and I immediately saw the change in my daughter. So I had this
Hmm.
in my
Hmm.
mind, but I was doing many courses at the time. I was doing courses from Grand Caliber at the time. So then I thought, okay, why not have? So I keep attending courses just so that, I'm in the field of learning so that I don't lose
Learning.
touch. I keep repeating courses sometimes just so that, because
Hmm.
when I'm
Hmm.
by myself, I don't have many friends who are in the zone of learning as I am. And
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
difficult
Hmm.
for me to reach everywhere as I want to. So that's how I keep repeating sessions. So then when there was a break between the Grand Caliber sessions and there was another course starting, I thought, why not get in touch with Jeffna? And then I said, okay, I want to, give this a shot. I want to try and see how this goes. So that's how I
Hmm.
started the sessions with Kring. And I think early it was just workshops for Krink, right? There was one-on-one sessions were limited. Yeah, you
Yeah.
had mentoring sessions, parenting workshops, but I really didn't want to focus just on parenting. I wanted like a wholesome support or
Hmm.
change
Holistic.
within myself. Yes, yes, holistic, yes.
Got it.
So that's how I started the sessions with Shifa. And then I realized one thing I realized is I'm a very expressive person and I've not had
Hmm.
many platforms to express myself. So it was really initially so many months, I think 3 to 4, maybe 3 months, was just me speaking and speaking and speaking with
Speaking.
Shifa. And then, yeah, so she really helped me just to thought through my emotions, and I started understanding why this happened, where this is coming from. So when the noise literally decreased because I'm expressing a lot, it gave
Hmm.
me a space for clarity as to what to do. And then I was able to also focus on the goals that she gives me every week after the initial clutter just sort of
Got
cleared
it.
out. Yeah, so that's how I
Exactly
went
the
into
way.
sessions one-on-one.
Got it. The way you mentioned, that sometimes, when you get into a session is when you realize that there's a lot of unlearning, learning that takes place, right? Like you don't really realize that even if it's a 10 minutes quality time is what that requires, even if it's like few minutes you could give with your child. And the second maybe you realize is the fact that, uh, I need to work on myself so that I could be a better parent to my child. So
Mm.
many parents or many individuals who come in, okay, this happens with my child. I want to work with my child. Like it's not happening. We're always in conflicts. Whatever I say, there's a demand and then there's a trigger and then there's a tantrum, but sometimes parents miss out on, are they emotionally regulated? Are they able to,
Right.
process the day? And they don't realize it. It's like it takes time for them to realize, okay. And that's where,
Mhm.
therapy or, when you have a one-on-one session, you start reflecting on your life, right? Like as you said,
Yes.
I'm a very expressive person. Like I want to talk a lot. But then a talk a lot is more of like a space for you to reflect back on your life, like what is
Yes.
happening in myself.
Yes.
That's exactly like a nutshell, like how basically that's what therapy is all about, right? Like where you kind of like, what is your true like how do you figure out your true self? Like what am I looking, what do I have to work on so that I could be a better
Yeah.
parent, a better daughter, a better friend? I mean, in different relationship, how it impacts, right?
Yes, very true. So coming back to as you said, I mentioned that I'm an expressive person. Initially, in
Mm,
my initial sessions with Shifa, I said that I'm talk. I asked her, "Am I talkative?" Because this is something that I
okay.
heard as an a feedback throughout
Hmm.
from many people. Not even just family, my trainers, and so many, so on and so forth. There was once a professional. I had a one-on-one session with her. I don't want to take names here, but I was speaking with her, and then so I was just sharing something, and immediately she stopped me, and she's like, "Afifa, you need to know where to speak what." And this is a lesson that you need to know. And I just got
Hmm.
stuck. And then after that, whatever I was speaking with the professional, I was, it was like I was very conscious, because is it too much, is it, but I was really speaking with Shifa, that and it took many months. The reason why I mention these details, because it's important. Yeah, if I would have
Hmm.
just taken 1 month session or 2 months, I wouldn't have come to this realization. So by speaking with Shifa is when I understood that I'm just an expressive person. I don't talk a lot, and of course, I'm mindful of others' time.
Hmm.
These are feedbacks that I
Hmm. Hmm.
received. I'm not mindful, and so on and so forth, because
Got
people
it.
are not. They try to help us, but they don't know
True.
how their message lands on us, right?
True. True.
So
Very true.
yeah, so that is one huge realization that I've come to. And about parenting children, really, I feel it's a lot of conditioning that makes parents think that children
Hmm.
don't listen, and children are difficult, and the what is that, the toddler tantrums and the trouble twos, they have all these names. And really, it's like, if you name something as something which is not helpful, your brain really thinks it that way. If I'm going to think that
Hmm.
my daughter is difficult, or it's so difficult to be around her, my brain is like immediately rejecting these ideas. It's not even true. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I say that, then it makes me think of my daughter as someone separate from me. Then she doesn't be my daughter. Then she's like an enemy, or she's someone who's
Hmm.
coming to trouble me. So, thankfully, there were these gentle parenting pages on Facebook when I was a very new mom. And I had a few really kind mothers in the community and in my family as well. So every time, when I see kindness, I'm like, okay, I want to be that. I want to be, this is who I want to be, because I know it, since I'm, expressive, I'm an HSP, highly sensitive person. We cannot box people into categories, but this is how we understand ourselves. Yeah. So I
Hmm.
really know that. I mean, I knew that earlier on, that
Hmm.
if my daughter is going to feel safe with me, if I'm a safe person for her, which I understood from
Yeah.
my experience. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I'm myself with safe people, like I'm myself with you, because of my experience with Krink. So I
Think.
understood that if my daughter is safe with me, then it's really helpful for me to increase my influence on her. And it was
Hmm.
a mind blowing understanding when I got to know that it just takes 10 minutes, because I'm so my day is so packed, because my parents are really busy. They're community leaders, they work shifts, and they're both working. And I
Hmm.
have my sisters, I have my friends, and I want to be the best sister, friend, daughter. Even though I know I'm not perfect at it, but I try to be. So what happens is, at the end of the day, my daughter gets my last version. Because I'm performing everywhere, and then I come to my room, it's just me and my daughter, and she gets the last version of it. And that's when I understood that, no, I'm not doing justice to her as a mom, as a parent. I'm doing both,
Hmm.
mom and dad, but as a mom primarily to her. And that's when I realized, like, Okay, let me see what I can do better. Let me see how I can make it a safe place for her.
For her.
And then,
True.
yeah, and then really just so when Shifa suggested the 10 minutes, it was like, oh my God, just 10 minutes? I have 10 minutes, this is how I felt. And then I started spending time with her. And just
Mm,
Shifa had mentioned specifically that during the 10 minutes, we have to be just listeners, no
mm,
judgment, and no advices. Just let her be. This is what she said, she suggested. And when
mm,
I let my daughter be just her and gave her that space, the switch was like immediate, and my daughter is
mm,
like more expressive. Um, she would listen to me as well. And it would be easier for me to guide her through. And
mm,
I'm a person who truly believes that children are gifts of God. We've been, even though I'm a parent, and there are so many people who say it, and all the teachings of all the years are coming to my mind. Like, parents really have the high horse, I would say. I will call out parents like that, myself included. When I was a child, I thought, parents were like, no, but it's really God's creation. Like, God has really gifted us with His creation to take care of them, to help them be their best self. So I really have no right, literally no right, to do something that would damage her, mental health or future. And I'm answerable to God for it. Really, it's there in my mind, like it's really strong. So every time I'm
mm,
dealing with her, even when I get angry, I go to her and I speak with her. I say sorry, and I ask her, like, is there something that you want to talk to me about it? Was there something that you wanted me to do differently? So that
mm.
and even sometimes she would shy away. She's really young. She's just being 11 years old. She would say, "No, ma, I don't feel anything. It was okay." And then I would say, "Are you sure? Did you need any help with it?" And then I notice her, uh, you know, face changing as well. Thankfully, NLP has helped me with understanding the emotions, and I'm a keen observer since childhood. So even the
Okay.
slight changes in behavior, and it comes
Mm.
from you're in an Asian community, your hypervigilance is part and parts, part of right. You get
True,
it,
true.
yeah. So so even when she's smiling and telling me that, Uma, there's nothing, and I notice eyes, maybe, she's not as expressive and she's not true to what she's saying.
Mm,
So
mm, mm,
I look, I make sure that it's the right time. If we are busy and if we are in the middle of something, I let it go, but I make a mental note of it. And when it is just us, I speak to her and I ask her. And I even like sometimes I bring up old situations that I may have listened that she mentioned
mm.
somewhere to someone else, and then I would bring it into our conversation and I would speak to her and just clear it out. So back to what I was saying, thankfully, I've been able to, I think maybe to a 90%, I can say. I don't know about the 10%. We're all humans and we're not perfect,
Yeah.
right? So
True, true.
90% I'm able to create a safe space for her, which is why I think or I believe that she is able to trust me
Mm, mm, mm,
and share her difficulties with me and also listen to me. So there was this grand caliber participant. She has 5 children, and she is way older than me, but she was a participant in the course, and we were
mm,
catching up on a video call.
mm,
And so my daughter was watching TV, and I told her, like, Achmu, that's what I call her. I was like, okay, Achmu, you have 5 minutes, and then after that, your TV time is done. And then after 5 minutes, I tell her, okay, it's 5 minutes is done. You come with me. We have something else to do. So I was on a call with my friend on the video call. And I told her, like, see, my daughter's listening to me. She's a very good child. The moment
mm.
I asked her to switch off the TV, she's
She's a
switching it off. So my friend, who's an older parent, comparatively, what she said, like, literally changed my understanding. What she said was like, you gave her space, you listened to her, so she listened to you. It,
Hmm.
that was something that no one has mentioned to me until then. Because we
Yeah.
always think that as parents, children have to listen to us, and this Asian conditioning that elders have to be listened to, obeyed, and all, and it's not the other way around. But it's always because children are from heaven, so they were among angels, and they're literally, you know, thankfully they're in Arabic, we say fitra,
Hmm.
inherent goodness.
Okay.
So yeah, we have a lot of things to learn from our children, right? So when my friend mentioned it, it literally changed my mind, and my understanding regarding that aspect. And then I was like, oh yeah, okay. And then later, whenever she used to say something, I started listening to her more. So then I immediately saw the change as well. And then she would come and tell
Hmm.
me, like, so for very teeny tiny example, which I just remembered. So what I do is I open the door for my daughter when she gets in, and I close
Okay.
the door. And the past couple of days, couple of times, she's been coming and opening the door for me to,
Okay.
get out of the car. And, as a single mom, there's no man in my life, of course, then there's, there's no one who come and open the door for me, unless, of course, some very, thoughtful friends. But my daughter is already doing it for me. So children really learn from, children, see and children do, right? Not, yeah. So these are the few things
That
that
I
yeah,
mean, it's not
practicing and
few, it's like major impacts in your life, I could believe,
thank
because
you so much.
even the fact that even the fact that that you have to uh this tiny little moments where you have to like opening the door for her, she I mean those things coming into our eyes notice, like how much of impact, like because they learn from what we do, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
how we show to them, how we portray, how we talk to people, how we behave in situations, and they really pick up those stuff. But
yeah.
one thing probably I've also come across, some we have learned a lot of things, like our parents have taught us over generations, a lot of
Mm,
things have been taught. Some of them are right, some of them, we got to unlearn a lot of practices, and it's not easy to actually uh, to basically, those are very rigid beliefs.
yeah,
It's so difficult to break those rigid beliefs, right?
mm,
It's like as though like no, this is what it's been learning. Like I've seen this for a long time. Like this is how I have been taught. Now how
yeah,
like we do have parents coming across it. This is how it is. It worked for me. But the fact is, uh, the process to unlearn or the process to break those rigid beliefs and come. Even the fact that even seeking help for even taking out therapy is stigmatized, right? It's
right,
probably
right.
not. It's probably not. Uh, I would say like, should I really seek help? What do people think? What
Mhm,
will society say about it? Now the thing with all of that is, uh, like society on one hand will think a lot about for each of our actions that we take, each how we believe and everything of that sort. But then, how did
mm.
you face it? Did you, when you take up that step of taking therapy or seeking therapy, did you really like face any kind of challenges in that way? How did family react? How did friends react? What was your take on that?
Okay, so regarding NLP, when I went to attend the training, it's like all of these mental health professions, or all of this is still taboo, right?
Hmm.
A lot of them has a lot of different understandings towards it. So
Hmm.
I've definitely faced apprehension from my family. They would say, like, why would um, I've had like family members say, uh, why do you need such consistent help? What
Hmm.
is the need? What is the need for consistent support? And when I would like suggest my aunts, and I'm taking it slow because they're new to all of this.
Yeah.
So when I suggest to a certain few, they get offended. When I say, like, why don't you do you want to try taking help? So initially, after my NLP training, after being certified, there was this friend who was going through a very difficult phase. So she had, her parents are divorced, and she had certain perspectives to life which I wanted to help her move on from. And I
Hmm.
suggested, so that at that time I was taking courses from GC, Grand Caliber, and I suggested, would you like to take this free course?
Hmm.
And I kept having the conversations back and forth, and she wasn't really open to it. And now she doesn't speak to me after that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I understand where they're coming from, because it really is. So we have many belief systems that we've grown with
Hmm.
from childhood, and we've not really been taught. I'm really thankful that you gave me this opportunity to put it out to the world. This is something I've been wanting to speak to my friends, my family, everybody, because these understandings really help me. So what I was saying was, like, if so we have strong set of belief systems that we've grown since childhood, and we've not really been trained or taught to how to handle difference of opinions coming to us,
Hmm.
right?
True.
So we're like holding on to our belief systems for dear life. I would say,
Yeah.
this is what I learned from childhood. How can you say so? These are the kind of reactions and responses people say, and they would say, I grew up without support. What difficulty
Hmm.
does my life? What difficulty do I have? You should, to such people, I would really say, speak to their children, and you would know.
What
Because
is it?
I don't want to mention names, because my a lot of them know my family, very honestly speaking. So I wouldn't,
Hmm.
because everyone, I'm not blaming anybody. I'm not throwing shade on anyone. We are all the patterns of behaviors we've learned from childhood, belief systems
Hmm.
that we've acquired from. We are children who saw and who did and learned. So everybody, right? And then they grow into adults, and some of them, like me included, myself included, you included, we've had the privilege to access help, support, um, yeah, mental health platforms, so we can at least think differently. I know a lot of them who haven't had the opportunity, and I would share this here. I hope it's about my mom. So my mom is a community leader,
Hmm.
and so there was this time she was mentioning. So I've been, of course, I'm the we are three girls, and I'm the one who's in my house the longest. So I've noticed, I'm a keen observer, so I notice all the patterns. So once, when I was speaking with my mom, I sat her down, and we were discussing something. We were on the sofa, so I took a notebook and I drew the
Hmm.
neuron on the book, and I showed her, like, this is neural pathways in our brain,
Hmm.
and the more we do a certain thing, the neural pathway becomes strong. And then I
Hmm.
showed her, like, the science, the diagram, right? The neuron with
Yeah.
all of the
Yeah.
heart. Yeah. So that's basically what I drew on the book. And I showed her, when you have new thoughts, it branches out. And I showed her, and I spoke to her, because there was this certain thing that she was repeatedly mentioning, which she had a difficulty with. And I want to her to be a good leader, and deal with things rightly, because it's difficult for us children to see our parents in pain or having any
Hmm.
difficulty, right? I'm sure you can resonate as well. Yeah. So I was explaining to her, and then I told her the pattern, and it was very difficult for her to understand that her pattern is what is causing her difficulty,
Hmm.
because she's 60 plus. So her neural pathways from childhood, or the experience that she's had, or the people she's been around, her neural pathways are very strong. So I go and tell her one day that, Uma, this is the neural pathway, and this is the behavior, this is the pattern that you have, which is causing difficulty for you to
Hmm.
handle this differently. It's a jolt to her nervous system, I would say. right? And
Yeah.
it didn't go
Yeah.
well. The conversation didn't go
It
well.
didn't
And then
go well.
finally she was like, okay, I'm tired. I cannot do this conversation right now. And then she just left. And I didn't want to do it again because, I saw how it related, it resonated to her. So just to not add to her worries, I was like, okay, I'm not going to have this conversation. So why I brought it up is because we are all having these, when we speak in NLP terms, it's behavior patterns and thought patterns and
Mm,
all of that. But when we scientifically speaking, it really is our neural pathways created in our brain, the belief systems, everything, right? So the neurons we keep firing, it has a strong hold in our brain, and that's how we perceive everything and have an
mm,
idea towards life, right? So parenting, I feel
true.
like many parents, they have so many set of ideologies. Like I said, parents are we're the elder ones, that's the sort of ideology I've heard so many parents. If it was my friend, I would just knock them like this, and I'm like, hello, come back to reality, because it's my close friends and they wouldn't take it, they wouldn't get offended. And I know their state
Yeah.
of healing and stuff, so I would say it to them. But if I'm speaking to a general public, I would say like
Yeah.
their pathways are really strong. So that
Mm,
idea gets attacked, I would say, when
yeah.
we speak. That's how people perceive it. So it's really
True.
difficult to, get it across to certain people,
Mm,
um, about how they should change to create a change in their life, because I feel like it comes from conditioning, the Indian, how our Asian parenting systems are.
parenting
And
is, yeah.
yeah, it really is like, parents are, it's always like this is parents and this is children. It
Mm,
never is like this, but we are
yeah.
really the same. Children
Yeah.
are coming
Yeah.
through us,
True.
and they're not support, they're not separate from us, right? um
Mm, mm,
it
mm.
hurts me, it hurts, even you can see the difference in my expressions. It hurts me to see how detached parents are from
Parents are
children,
rich. Yeah.
right? And with some of them with their parents as well,
Mm-hmm. With that, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, with their parents as well. And it's sort of, it goes like a generational cycle of trauma, the grandparents and the parents and the children, and those children to their children. Because I know, my like I said, my friend who stopped talking to me because her idea of reality got
Was different.
challenged there.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not speaking with me. I like her. I would still love to, reconnect, but I haven't had the time to. Yeah.
And I'm sure that would
So
have been difficult for you as well, right? Because you guys have
definitely,
been
yeah.
very close, and then just because of different perspectives, and the fact that I'm so glad that we're speaking this, because when you're sharing with me that, all the different learnings, the way you reflect with your daughter, the way you share, I mean, it's amazing that, probably years back before we actually, talk about, like, sometimes people even struggle to even communicate these needs. Like, is that even a need? Like, is that even a thing? Like, come
Mm.
on, children will just grow up, but then the fact that we got to spend time with them, we got to have that listening space for them, because because come on, these days the issues we see among adolescents, like, something that we tell parents is, it all starts from as long as from the time they have been born, like,
Yes.
how they were able to communicate. But then it's the parents probably start realizing that when the child might have hit the adolescent age, like, he or she is, not listening to us. They are in their own world. They have their own things happening. I said, okay, why are they, like, moving away? Why are they drifting apart?
Mm.
But they notice a drift apart at that age. But they are not
Yes.
realizing that quality time, how valuable that could be. That's been missing for them, right?
Yeah.
But
Very
the
true.
moment that, yeah, so it's like I'm so glad, like, these things that we're speaking right now is like how important it is that parents see, at the end, all parents have just one thing. They wish good for the child, right? Like that's
Yes.
what we all
Yeah.
hope for. But then
Yeah. Very
the
true.
conditions, the unorthodox beliefs, or the belief system that they probably might have, come up or build around with, how much
Mm.
that might have influenced their parenting styles,
Yeah.
you know. But then that's all happening unconsciously. Probably that conscious parenting, the
Yes.
importance of it or how that needs to be involved has to, come up slowly or gradually, which, parents
Yes.
do find it difficult, as you mentioned, like how people around would think, what will they
Right.
feel, like how will my parents take it, then am I taking the wrong step, am I taking the right step, like, those kind of doubts, self doubts. I'm sure parental doubts is also a different thing altogether,
Right.
like am I doing
Right.
good for my child, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
also not
Very
an easy
true.
process to go with, like each
Yeah.
decision you make for your child as well. One thing that probably also highlighted me the fact when you're sharing was the way you also try to, despite your parents' age, you wanted to give them that time and, okay, you must see this. This is how things work. Like, I mean,
Mm.
because we can actually be in a mindset, okay, they're old, why should I take the extra
Yeah.
effort to actually sit with them and, teach? They're not going to, it's nothing going to feed into their brain. But you still took that effort. Like, I don't mind, I'm sure maybe they could take it in the wrong way. Maybe they can take it in the right way. I'm not sure. But I'm still willing to do from my side. That itself is like, it's
Yeah.
like amazing. Like, I mean, I'm sure that's also a lot of the learning to the journey that you had at Kring as
Yeah.
well that made you also
Definitely.
realize that probably sometimes when we communicate is when they also reciprocate. Okay, even though they may not be able to get in the initial stages, but we are trying our best.
Yes.
That's the maximum we could do, right? Like how people
Yeah.
perceive around us, it's not in our hand. But we could still do our best, to make sure that okay, you know what, this is something that, and I'm also glad the way you took it. Like I know I didn't push her further. I mean, like you could do that many a times, right? Like, Mama, this is how it is, this is how things work, you should also
So
believe it. But
I wouldn't.
you're giving her that space.
I I wouldn't say I'm the perfect person and I give a lot of grace. I hold myself to great standards, which Shifa is very aware of. But I would, I think it's come through a lot of practice. Um,
Hmm. True.
and because so our parents are, right? My mom is a leader. Definitely one of us are, we are leaders. My dad is a
Mm-hmm.
community leader, strong, very strong headed personality. Of course, we are the same. So, when the same personalities come, it's a lot of difference in opinion. And especially with
Mm.
the age and the conditioning that, parents
Yeah.
are above
Yeah.
us and children are
Not
below
true.
us. And also the people around who would say, oh, your child did that, and oh, she spoke to you like that. And all of the parents, when I'm in circles, what I hear them saying is, my child did that, my child did this, and he wasn't, I don't want to mention the exact sentences they said, because I don't like speaking about them. It's really
Got it.
unkind towards children
Hmm.
to say, so when you, even like when my parents hear it's the entire people are talking, I mean, the majority of the society or the community are speaking this way. When it comes like that,
Mm-hmm.
it's not very easy to put across points to my parents. And I used to be really scared,
Mm-hmm.
very honestly speaking. I would hesitate and I would shut down, and um, I would retreat to my room, which is, my safe
I mean,
space.
that's what we have been
Until
taught
not
as well,
important. Yeah, like, because the uncomfortable conversations are, we've not taught that people
to
learn
express it.
and our relationships grow through uncomfortable discussions. We've really not taught
Very
that,
true.
right?
Yeah.
So, so I used to be really scared to hold conversations with my parents. Um,
Hmm.
I'm I'll be 32 this year, but I'm I'm putting it out first time in a public platform that I've been scared to put across ideas to my parents, to my aunts, my uncles, my elder sister, people, principal, my boss, managers I've spoken with. You see where it came from and where all it impacted, right?
Hmm.
All of that. But the sessions with Kring has helped me to do that as well. To speak my truth, to keep trying, to hold conversations. And it's really, really, I love the sessions with Shifa. It really makes me human. Really makes
Glad to
me
know.
kind and compassionate towards people. because I could be telling Shifa the craziest of issues that are happening. And she would still just sit there and smile and she would be like, would there be a reason behind why they're doing that? And I'm
Hmm.
like put in a tight spot, because
You have to
I'm like,
think through it
okay,
now.
all right. Yeah. And I'm like, all right, would there have been a reason for that? And then I realize it. So it has really
Hmm.
helped me to see more of the human side of my parents.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
Hmm.
also, something that you spoke before, I've also realized where my patterns are coming from because there's a lot of clarity now. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I realized where, like, okay, so I speak a certain way. People have
Hmm.
called me out on it. And then I
Hmm.
noticed that my dad or my mom has spoken that.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And no, this is not to throw shade on them. They have their patterns,
Definitely.
and
Yeah.
yeah, they're doing the best they can. And but because I realized that, I'm careful with my daughter
Hmm. Yeah.
because she's seeing what I did, right? So I'll come back to speaking with parents, but I want to share this as well. So
Hmm.
there was
Hmm.
this huge argument I had with my friend, and they just left the car and all of that. This is something I've shared only with Shifa, so I'm sharing it with you with the hopes that it would help others as well. And I didn't want to continue the conversation because I'm mindful my daughter is at the back. Yeah, she's
Hmm.
listening to it.
Hmm.
I was like, okay, can we do this conversation later? And then my friend just walked out, and I'm in the car and I'm just sitting. And then I'm really thankful to God and the sessions that I'm attending and everything. I just sat through to just breathe. I drove to a different area, like far from my friend's place. I just parked the car to just calm myself. And I just asked my daughter, Achmu, is there something that I could have done differently this time? Is there something that you want me to do differently? So she
Hmm.
said, Uma, just call them. Call them and talk to them. And I'm like, are you sure you want me to talk to them? And she's like, yeah, call them because she's upset when I'm upset with people. She reminds me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the moment she sees my voice changing or some
Hmm.
conversation that's happening at home that looks different, she reminds me. She's like, Uma, I need help. That's how she calls me. She's like, Uma, can you help me with something? And she pulls me. So
Yeah.
back to the car incident. She asked me to call the friend, and I called the friend. And I was like, the Achmu is saying, suggest. I didn't want to lose the character because
Yeah.
oh
Yeah.
come on,
And
right?
just.
So I'm like, because I tried to have a conversation before and that
Hmm.
didn't work. And then finally I was like, this is the maximum I can put effort to it. And that's why I said, we can have it at a different time. It's not like I
Hmm.
fought in very, I didn't fight immediately or it wasn't an argument which came out just like that. So I
Hmm.
called a friend. I was like, Achmu wants me to speak to you. Come back, please.
Hmm.
The friend comes back and they have not even gone into their accommodation. They've just been
They just
wait
came back
because
like
they
that.
were upset.
Okay.
For sure, they
Ah,
were upset with the
definitely.
conversation. They came and then we went to have dinner. We calmed down. My daughter calmed down, and then we talked it through. So
Got
why
it.
I say this is because, and I'm realizing it as I speak with you. I have always told Asma that it is my daughter that it is important that we speak through things. That
Hmm.
conversation is important. And I was so grateful that day she reminded me of it. And also, like, I'm thankful to God that it helped me to ask her opinion as well. Because our friendship would have looked very different. They were traveling within a couple of days. It would
Hmm.
have looked very
And it could
different
have
if,
delayed for a long time, and that could have been distant for
yeah.
both of you, right?
And and also it would have given my daughter the impression that conversations we cannot resolve even
Hmm.
after conflict.
True. True.
Right.
Yeah.
So that gave me an opportunity to sit through. And then she slept off, and the morning she asked, and she was like, Uma, if you were getting angry with so and so, I'm not coming with you. This is literally what she said. She's like, Uma, if you're having fights with people, I'm not coming with you. You know, Talk
Wow.
kindly. So I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I should have. I should have done better.
Who's the parent
And
here?
then, right, right. See?
Yeah,
And then I told her, we sorted it out. I let her know, and that was, yeah.
got it.
Coming back to my parents, it's taken a long time for me
I
to
can
understand
imagine.
where they've come from. And it's not like I have the most peaceful home yet, or we have our differences, we have our strong personalities clashing,
Yeah, but we're striving
and
for it.
yes, yes, we are. And I wouldn't say I'm at a place where I'm happy with our relationship yet. I'm sorry, parents, I'm putting this out on the public platform. Sorry to parents and my family who may watch this, um, but I would love to have it different. I would love to keep trying. I really feel like communication changes everything.
Yeah.
You mentioned, right? My Indians, I feel they don't communicate well. So sorry. I'm an Indian. So sorry, but you know,
It's okay. The
we
true
don't
emotions
communicate.
coming out.
We don't communicate as in we don't give space, and we don't have the kind of time to give space, listen out different perspectives. And we live in a capitalistic society. We're working. We don't have time juggling so many responsibilities. Not everybody has the time to sit and talk through, which is something I really understand. So one thing I've understood in Malayali's conversation, because I'm a Malayali, so I can, talk on their behalf. Hopefully, I hope no one's offended, but yeah, I just want people to do better, for their lives and for themselves and for their children and for society. What I've noticed is they leave conversations halfway through.
Hmm. Yeah.
um, Especially parents, people in authority, they say something and they don't want the conversations to go forward. They're just silent.
Hmm.
And me as a child, I've had so many questions because I would be like, oh, are they upset now? Should I not speak
Hmm.
anymore? Should I
A lot of
continue this?
thoughts.
Yeah, is it
Like we just keep
okay?
on
What
thinking
happens
for no
now?
reason.
Right. And I'm like, okay, should I like leave now? Is it done? Like,
Hmm.
these are the questions that I've had. So
Yeah.
what I understood is that being good communicators helps in any situation.
Hmm.
Being That's why I said, I'm expressive, where it's helped me. And Shifa has said that it has helped you, I mean, her and Krink as well, to know how to help me out just because I'm expressive. And I was like, oh, okay, I didn't think of it, that way. And so I've grown up where communication is not the key feature in relationships, because I feel like um parents or elders or authority figures, they
Hmm.
feel like, oh, I've said it, it's enough, they've got it,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
they're thinking from their shoes,
Yeah.
right?
They're not seeing the other side.
Yeah, because I've got it, of course, and it comes with me as well sometimes, because I'm like, okay, I'm thinking of it this way. I think that
Hmm.
I feel like my parents or my friends have understood it that way. And thankfully, I've done so many communication courses and Toastmasters and all of that. So I still ask people, and I keep changing my sentences to see if, it matches them. But I get that not everyone has that kind of time or
Yeah.
energy or
Hmm.
capacity uh, to hold such conversations. So
Yeah.
one thing I decided is, when I'm in all my relationships, with my best friends and in marriage also,
Hmm.
uh, I I made sure that communication is important. Um,
Yeah.
my
Got it.
ex-husband wasn't up for communication, so that's he
Got
has
it.
his, yeah, reason.
No, as you also
Um,
mentioned about time, like being a busy mom, like I know you're transitioning your work, so you have been working for a while, and now what is something that an advice or something that you want to tell your fellow working parents? Because something that we all, because Kring is also been, supporting busy families. We make sure that, because there are a lot of other factors involved in a parent's life, like they have to take care of their child, and the responsibilities is also And being a mom,
Right.
the way culturally it's been, how mothers have
Yeah.
extra this thing. So we make sure that the timings also suit their, day-to-day responsibilities that they have to handle. So when they say, I'm busy, I don't have time to spend with my child. I don't have time to even go take them for their park to the park, or what is it? So what is your advice to fellow working parents in terms of meeting their aspirations to become a good parent, a good mom, a good dad, despite the busyness they have in their life, like the work? And I'm sure a lot of parents might be also working, taking care of their parents, joint families. So then taking care of every responsibility, and I'm sure society expects also, right? Like,
Right.
so and so should be done. So how are they exactly? What is the advice that you could give them in terms of how can they be, despite the busyness, how can they give that time to their child?
Yeah. So there are many roles that we play in day-to-day life, right? As parents, as working parents, especially, it's very busy.
Hmm.
It's really challenging to find time and space for children.
Yeah.
What I would really say is, at the end of the day, if um, I'm not even sure if I'm the perfect person to say it, but I would say as a suggestion, like I would say to my friends, because I want better for them and for their relationship with their children. What I would say is, like, think what is most important for you. At the end
Hmm.
of the day, is it the workplace? Is it the people in the society?
Hmm.
Is it the ideologies that we hold strongly in our mind? Is it the expectations that we have of children and of the people around us? Is
Yeah.
is that what is important? Or is it the relationship that you have with your child that is important? Because children are growing in immense speed, or their growth spurts are like immense, right, across
Yeah.
years. And 1 year gone is not replaceable.
Hmm.
We could replace a day at work. We are easily replaceable at work.
Yeah.
We are easily replaceable at society. Even
Hmm.
in joint family systems, even though I'm staying in a joint family system, I live with parents, I know my aunts, uncles, everybody, my relatives, we are all coming from joint family systems. So I'm aware of the challenges that comes with staying with in-laws, with parents, with siblings, anybody. I as much as I'm aware of all of this, I would say, like, is it important what your parents are going to say about your child? Is it important what your friend is going to be saying about your child?
Hmm.
Is it important? Is it is it that important that 1 hour of, like, we could really wait out? Is 1 hour of a meeting as important? Like, you
Hmm.
could really weigh out, like, balance it out. Is 1 hour with your child important, more important, or is
Hmm.
1 hour of meeting important?
True.
Or is there something that you can, do so that you give equal importance to your child and your work meeting as well? Now, if you have a meeting that you cannot miss, can you give 10 minutes? Maybe if not 10 minutes, depends. 5 minutes to your child? Can you give 5 minutes to your child? Sit with them, ask them, did you eat food today? Did you like what you ate?
Hmm.
Uh, You know,
Basic thing.
question.
Yeah.
Very basic. Children are like, I feel like, children are the most vulnerable, most kindest creations of God, because you can be the absolute worst. So sorry, parents. I'm talking for myself here too. You can be the absolute worst to children, and the next day they would come saying, Umma, Uppa, mom, dad. Can
Hmm.
we go?
Yeah.
It's all, can you love me today? The baseline is, can you love me today? They would still come running behind us. And I haven't had the best years of parenting initially.
Hmm. Hmm.
There were
Hmm.
so many patterns that I was repeating. And my daughter would bring it up. She would bring it up. Uma, you hit me. Uma, you shouted at me. At this instance, at this point in time, you spoke this to me. And initially when I used to hear it, I would be so shocked, because I used to think I did better, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
that's just
Hmm.
4 years. See, first 4 years of her life. And she's
Okay.
10 now. She'll be 11 this year, inshallah.
Mm.
And she would say, Uma, you did that. Do you remember? And it took me months, I would say months of talking to just let her know I'm not going to hit her. And it's still, it hurts me to say this. It's just first 4 years. I was very young. I became a mom at 21.
Mm.
The divorce procedures happened during my pregnancy.
Mm. Mm.
Um,
Mm.
the divorce was finalized when she was 1 years old. So I was a new mom and navigating divorce in an Asian society where nobody knew how to support
Yeah.
me. I'm the first divorcee in my family. They did their best, for sure.
Mm.
Everybody
Yeah.
did their best, but it wasn't this kind of support that would have helped me to, bloom at that time. But thankfully, yeah,
Got
thankful
it.
to God that I've come so far. So yeah,
I
so
think the fact that
really,
you mentioned about, weighing your priorities basically reflect on what you have to do today, like what's on your plate, and then weigh the priorities, like, this is really important to me at the right time. Like, I could be
yeah,
replaced at work, I could be replaced elsewhere, but not in my child's
totally.
life. Like, that's
No.
irreplaceable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's irreplaceable. I
Wow.
feel as once you're a parent, whether planned or not, you have a huge responsibility. Me, myself included, I'm holding myself accountable here.
Accountable.
We have a huge responsibility towards another creation of God. If you really see things in this way,
Yeah.
you cannot do wrong. If the listener is a believer, I
Mm-hmm.
feel so. So it
I
it
mean,
really comes down to it really comes down to asking yourself, is it important, is it really
mm,
important? And if it is, of course, there are meetings that you cannot
yeah, yeah.
excuse yourself from. Can you find 5 minutes
It's,
in a day with your child? If you have three
yeah.
children, divide. The mom can take 5 minutes with one
Mm-hmm.
child, the dad can take 5 minutes with the other
That can
child,
take.
and the mom or dad can take 5 minutes with the third child, depending on so on and so forth.
Yeah,
Because at the end of the
got
day,
it.
it
I
really
mean,
comes down to family. I don't think
very true.
anything else in life
Matters there. Yeah.
matters more than family and the relationships that you have in your life. That is why I say I'm an
Mm.
SOS friend.
Hmm.
I try to be
The
as
thing
much
is,
as I
I
can.
think so far that we discussed, I mean, huge insights about, not just about parenting, but also about self, about how society structures relationships, parenting,
Right.
how do you bring up a child, even about seeking help, and so far when you have shared your journey of how you have been people and how people have played a role in your life to suggest
Right.
you to, okay, how about Afifa, you try this, and you taking that step there, okay, let me
Mm.
try one-on-one consultation with Shifa, and how that turned out to be. And also realizations that, okay, people do tell me I talk a lot, but no, I mean, that's the way I express. And that has helped me to
Mm.
figure out what's actually like, it helped me to unclutter my thoughts, like it helped me to
Yeah.
detangle my thoughts. So being that
Yeah.
expressive also helped you too, because until then you thought it's going to be a negative thing, but then after that you realized, okay, it's not bad. I mean, I know
Yeah.
it's being expressed, but that's my trait, but that has also helped me too. It's not too bad. So those kind of realizations also has helped you. And I think the talk we had today is definitely going to help a lot of the parents, busy families out there,
I
not just in
really hope
parenting,
so.
but also in terms of self, So as we
Right.
like the coming end to the talk we were having about sharing your experience so far with Gring, what is something that you would like to share your viewers, a moment, a quote, or a small win that you're very proud of, that you want to take away? Like it's like the something that they can take away.
Want to think about it because there are
Yeah,
so many moments that
definitely.
I can
I
recall.
know.
Yeah. Yeah. I would just say that if you follow your heart,
Hmm.
not your mind, your
Yeah,
heart. This is like different from what everybody says,
I think we need to
don't follow
bold
your
it.
heart. Listen to your mind. Yeah. If you, if we really follow our heart and if we really want to make a difference
Hmm.
in our children's lives and the
Hmm.
people around us, God, if, they're believers, the listeners are believers, and I know we both are, God would really, or in Paulo Coelho's, quote, the universe would conspire
Yes,
in
yes,
helping us achieve it, right?
yes,
It we would really, God, I'm a true believer, so that's why I'm bringing God,
yeah.
I'm mentioning, yeah, because I'm nobody without Him. So I really feel like God would take us to the places, to the people, to the situations, and the conversations that would help us build these relationships that we are aspiring to have with
Hmm.
with our children, with
Children
our
with
parents,
parents.
with our spouses, with our friends. It would
Hmm.
really come down to that. And I would also say, as humans, we are bound to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is something I learned along the way. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but we we are bound to make mistakes. So it helps to be graceful to ourselves first. So when we are graceful to ourselves, we know that children make mistakes too. So then we can be graceful to them. Um, that so I think these two
Is
would
what you want to
be,
like take away
yeah,
for the good.
yeah.
I mean,
If
thank you
we keep
so much, Afifa,
if
for
we I would add this too. If we keep doing the things that we believe in, like we
yeah,
want good for our children.
yeah.
So if we keep moving towards it, and if we take the right help, like
Hmm.
with Krink, I would say it's the best platform. Thank you so much. You're doing God's work on earth. I would really say that.
So glad to
I'm
know that.
yeah, I'm happy. I keep saying this to Shifa all the time, but I'm so happy, to be able to say this to you as a platform as a whole. If we really keep working towards it, it
Hmm.
will get easy.
Hmm.
Relationship can be mended. Healing is possible.
Hmm.
Anything, no matter what happened, no matter how painful, how challenging the situation has been in the past,
Hmm.
once we as a parent, because we are in position of power right now, it's in our control. Yeah,
Yeah.
like parenting is in our control. If we take conscious steps and
Hmm.
we take the right support from the right people, and if we keep continuously moving towards that path,
Hmm.
things will get easy. I've seen it with my child. I've seen it in my family. I've seen it with my friends. I've seen the transformation they've had in their life. And I see it within me, to speak like this and to share this journey with you, because I know how
I
I would
can
put this
feel.
out. I would put this out so that, people are aware. After divorce, I had a mental block. I didn't remember who I was. I didn't
Hmm.
remember childhood. I didn't remember college time. And I used to ask my family members and I used to ask my college friends who I was back in college,
Hmm.
who I was back, when I was, and then thankfully, 2019, I attended this Smriti meditation healing therapy. It's like
Hmm. Hmm.
Gestalt therapy, similar.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, yeah. So through that, my thoughts, I started regaining my thoughts. And there are still things in my life that, I would get like a moment of flashback. Like it would come to my mind. I was like, oh, like, in the movies, you see, you get a sudden gasp of air. It really happens that, like I'm reminded of my past. And if
Hmm.
it can happen to me as a 32, inshallah, this year, adult,
Yeah.
because of the challenges that I've gone through, how would our children's minds be,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And how mindful we have to be towards
Be
them, because it
so
it
true.
gets carried on for you. You never know, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, kindness
Is
really
what
matters.
is
We may never know what another person is going
is going
through,
through.
so be
Yeah.
kind, right? That quote, yeah, and that
Yeah.
works. That has helped me immensely
A lot.
throughout my life.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
that
I
would be
can
a
hear
quote.
from I
That
can actually really hear from you that you are speaking truly out of your experience, truly out of your
yeah,
journey. And I mean, immense grateful to you, immense thank you to you, Afifa, for sharing your journey. I mean, truly honest, truly genuine. And I'm sure when you speak out of that genuinity, it will help out many parents who are also equally feeling overwhelmed, just like how things
yeah,
have been. Like, and as you mentioned, like a lot of people are going through many different struggles,
yeah.
right?
Yes,
And
definitely.
when a parent or when an individual is sharing how the journey of seeking help has been so far for them, that could really help the people out there. Okay, I mean, I want
Yeah.
to, they'll start admiring, that's sometimes when, oh, okay, somebody's sharing there. So, I mean, it
Yeah.
truly, it's a responsibility as well that you have taken. I'm truly, thankful to you for taking that up. And thank you for taking your time out as well to join us. And
Thank
it's been
you.
amazing to talk with you today and glad to have that, talk with you. I mean, I have
Thank
got a
you.
huge insight as
Thank
well.
you very
And
much.
hearing that from you is also
Okay.
truly, I mean, I'm grateful for that.
I'm really grateful for Kring to help me be the mom I want to be for my daughter. And I really wanted to take fear out of the, out of my mind, out of my thoughts. I just really wanted to throw fear away
Hmm.
because it was not helpful.
Yeah.
And the sessions with Shifa has helped.
So
The
glad,
kind of
Kring.
impact that I can make
It,
with people in my family. I'm able to hold conversations with my dad and
hmm.
tell him what I'm trying to, convey, which is
Yes.
something that I couldn't do before. And that's the
Exactly.
impact
Kring has
that, Crink workshop, all other workshops I've been attending since childhood as well. Of course, we are a, byproduct of
continuously
all
done.
the lives
Yeah.
that we've lived, but especially the sessions with
Hmm.
Shifa has truly helped me. She's seen me as me. There is
Hmm.
no judgment
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
She's given me the time for me to understand. I've noticed how she's not asked me questions that I'm not comfortable with. Yet, there are things that she's not asked me. She waits for me to reach to it.
So,
Yeah.
and
So
so glad that
that has
we,
really
Kring,
helped.
could actually really help you and be part of your life. So glad to hear that, Afifa. Thank you
Mm.
so much, Afifa, for joining us today. And hopefully,
Most welcome.
all the viewers out there would, really benefit from hearing from you. So thank you so much.
Hopefully, inshallah. Yeah. Thank you
Thank
so much for
you.
having me, Alida. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Same here.
And I'm really hoping that a lot of them benefit from this discussion that we had. Thank
Same
you so much for everything that Krink is doing. God
here.
bless you all,
Okay.
really.
Bye,
All
Afifa.
right. Bye bye.